Praveen, happy to have you here talking to me. Would love to first start with your introductions. Tell us what you do at Endpoint and your journey uh, on how you came to Endpoint.
Sure. Thank you first of all, Shri, for taking time and giving me this opportunity to talk to you. Right, I work as a senior director of cloud architecture and product development. I've been with Endpoint for a little over, I think, almost 4 years now. Right, um, yeah, the time flies, right? I still remember I was working for another company in Philadelphia, Greater Philadelphia area. So one of my previous manager, he was at Endpoint, and he kind of reached out to me because he and I have done this journey together, where we took our previous company from on-prem to cloud, right? But it was much smaller thing. It was a it was a small company, 70 odd people. They had a thing, but we took the journey together. So, and when he came in at Endpoint, it was the first project that we were doing of basically taking one of our application into cloud, right? So he kind of reached out to me. He kind of explained me the things, and it kind of excited me because being Endpoint is a much bigger company, and the vision what he had, so that kind of excites me. So I joined Endpoint, and in my first project, uh, it was called Gateway. Which all the legacy product use that as a single sign-on thing, right? So it was a kind of an interesting thing. I joined in Jan of 2021, I think 21, 22, 21 or 22. So at that point in time, I was very much involved in setting up of all the network security, the cloud security part of it, these IAC. So all those concepts are very new to Endpoint, and um, but it was a great thing. And at the end, we were able to deploy that project on time, and it has been running for almost 3, 4 years now in production. I think it has more than 99% uptime. But yeah, so that's how it started. It was a very different avenue. I was more involved in the DevOps side of the house, the IAC, infrastructure as a code, the cloud security, because we we wanted to have that literally as an extension of our data center, right? So setting up of all the VPCs, and then making sure that okay, none of the traffic goes to the cloud just through our data center. So setting up of all the tunnels. So it was a good exercise. Uh, yeah. So and from there, I kind of segued into a different thing. We worked on a analytics project where we were kind of trying to get data from all the on-prem Pulse and Drive system, and then putting it up into cloud, and then do a sort of analytics on top of it. So I did that, and then from there, I got an opportunity to kind of design the Elosity. It was a great opportunity, and we have been kind of doing that for the last couple of years, and the product is in GA right now.
No, no, it's a fantastic accomplishment. I just heard that the Elosity audit went very well, which in itself is a very great accomplishment. So, Praveen, tell me a little bit more detail on this journey in Elosity. Elosity is our new product. What went into the thinking of that particular product? How did you kind of design it? Tell me a little bit about
Yeah.
that
So
experience.
definitely, Shri. I still remember like it was so I was kind of wrapping up that analytics project, and then my manager at that point in time and Jeff Robinson, they gave up, and we had a small meeting, and they were explaining, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that, and that kind of charged me up, right? Because that's a kind of a thing, any like people don't get a chance to build this enterprise level application from a scratch at that magnitude, right? So that kind of made me very excited. So it was a kind of a team effort. Jeff has been with Endpoint for almost ages now, right? So uh, whatever pain point we had with the existing operation one, we kind of try to remove all of that, yet make a system which is easy configure from the development standpoint. So considering all that, there were a few sort of complicated use cases that what we had from the business requirement and all. So we kind of went through the process and the journey of kind of understanding, okay, why are we doing this, right? Because I didn't had exposure to the operation or the legacy side of the house first I wanted to kind of understand, okay, why are we doing it, right? So why are we doing this? It was clear. Then we kind of figured it out, how are we doing it, right? We always wanted to use the latest and greatest which is out there, right? And not box ourselves saying that, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And then based on that, we decided the architecture what we're gonna put. We picked the event driven architecture, which is kind of latest and the greatest, along with the microservices. We did the initial architecture. There was a lot of thought process which went into it. What tools to use, what technology to use. Okay, should we use this? Because that's a problem with, not a problem, but that's an opportunity with the cloud, right? You get a lot of things. So now you can just do one thing in 5 different ways with 5 different tools, right? But you'll have to see, considering the cost, considering your use cases, considering the volume, which one should we go. So there was a lot of team effort that went into figuring out what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and then at last we kind of came up with an architecture, as I said, event driven with the microservices, based on our experiences and learning from our legacy product, right? And then we started building this. So that was a bit of a rational and a thought process that we went, and the technology is ever evolving. I'm a firm believer of that. Whatever we did couple of years back, it's already kind of outdated. I'll not say outdated, but it's almost on the verge of an outdate. So it's now AI. 3 years ago, AI was it was there, but it was very new. But now everything is AI, ML, right? So uh, again, well, we kind of keeping all that into our mind, we design a system which is easily extensible. We are not kind of making a one big monolithic thing. Right now, we can just plug and play things easily, swap something easily. We can extend something. And again, the idea was that, again, that it should be technology agnostic, right? So the from the cloud perspective, we kind of designed it in such a way that we can plug in any sort of technology into our platform. And again, we saw it as a platform, not as an application. That was another thing that we kind of envisioned, that this is a platform having a lot of systems on it, and we get more system, we're gonna kind of wrap it under the same platform.
Okay. No, perfect. Seems like a very exciting journey, and finally, that end product is out there. You're having your first trial, and your first audit. It must be a very proud feeling for you and your team. So, congratulations on
Yeah,
that.
thank you, thanks a lot, Shri. Yeah, it was really good, right? I still remember March 11th. That's when we deploy. It was such a great feeling. And again, I have a Velocity is closer to me. My son was born on March 14, 2022. We were about to start sprint on Elosity, and he was born. And again, we just deployed this as when he was turning 3. So again, it's very close to me.
That's been a amazing journey. So through that journey in anything, you would have had some tough times and some good times.
Mhm.
So tell me an example of a tough time you had and what you did to uh, get over it, and tell me about a fun time you had and where you had the most fun on.
Yeah. So to be frank, we had a lot of fun time. Team is so great, right? We had bunch of like everyone in the team is so kind of up to the mark. They want to learn, they want to make something good, right? Like the people who have a lot of SME knowledge, there are people who are technically good, right? Everyone coming together, and there's hardly any sort of we do have disagreement, but we don't fight, right? We say, okay, let's put our points on the table, let's make a good decision which is valuable, right? And there's no ego, there's nothing like that. So plus point, definitely the enjoyable part is that the team, right? It was a journey. Like it took us 3 years to build this. The people who there are a lot of people in this who started from the scratch, right? I still remember setting up the repository, setting up the code, and then, okay, let's do it like this, let's do it like that. All those discussion, all those memories are the fun part, right? Because now you can actually see that, okay, whatever we did it for a reason, and now it's kind of making our life easy, developers life easy. It's kind of having so fun part is definitely the team environment, right? Working with the people. I had a lot of good memories. Everyone is so good. The tough, again, it's just the we do have tough times, right? Like
Yeah,
I still
yeah.
remember mostly around, it always happened, right? It always happened. There's always a rush around the release, right? So we had some challenges because it, as I said, it's a complicated system, it's a distributed system. So we had an issue where if something was failing, and let's say there are 5 services, something was failing on the fifth one, now you have to go roll back all 4. So figuring out that, debugging, troubleshooting with the team. So those were a bit of technical challenges that we had. But again, as I said before, it was a it was a learning exercise, right? Like you learn, you make mistake, you improve on that. And I'm a firm believer, if you wanna fail, fail fast, right?
Yeah.
You know. So and then yeah, so there were a bit of a challenges. Like one, the rollback thing I remember is one. We had the deployment part of it, right? It was a massive thing because we have been building this for a couple of years. We were deploying it for to a staging environment, which is more like a training and a UAT, but we were not deploying to production, right? Because there's a cost involved and all that. So it was a mammoth effort to take the 3 year worth of code, 3 year code worth of configuration, and then deploying it to the production, and that too with the high availability, disaster recovery baked in, right? So that those two, for me, it's kind of the challenges. But again, I think it was a learning thing, and at last I think we did a decent job.
Wonderful, wonderful. Praveen, tell me what is fun in your personal life? Tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do outside of working 24 hours on Velocity? You know,
Nah, I don't work 24 hours. Like I do have a good work-life balance. That's again a good thing. I have a 3-year-old kid, so I love to play with him, take him out, right? Other than that, whenever he let me have a free time, I love to kind of watch the history documentary, the history channel, right? So I'm kind of
nice.
very much and that's the only thing which I like, watching the history documentaries and all that. Yeah, I keep telling my wife, if I would not have been an engineer, I would have been an historian, right? Because
Oh,
that's how
nice.
I like the history. It's kind of good. I never
Any
felt
particular era you like, or
um
any? It doesn't
no, like
matter.
anything with the history I like. I watch like everything, medieval to Asian to the current one, geopolitics, anything and everything, kind of what I like about history.
Nice, nice. And do you do any other fun hobbies outside
Uh,
of?
yeah, I like, as I said, I'm kind of a very outdoorsy person, right? So whenever Philadelphia or the Pennsylvania climate allow me to stay outside, I prefer staying outside. We go for a hike. Yeah, I'm kind of very close to. I love being in nature, very close to nature. So we go a lot of out parks and hikes and long walks. That's what.
Fantastic, fantastic. Coming back to our work, as you start to onboard more and more people to your team in Velocity and beyond, what do you tell them to get excited about to join your team? What is your pitch to make sure that they come to your team, the best come to your team?
So again, definitely the vision, definitely the vision of the product, the vision of a company, vision of a platform is what kind of I pitch to everyone, right? It's not that we are just doing this and we are boxing ourselves that we're going to do this, right? We are evolving, and we are always uh, again, we joke in Velocity, we are not we are cutting edge, we are not bleeding edge, right? So so we always, technology wise, it's a plus thing, right? We are always very, we are evolving, we want to learn, we want to make something good. Along with that, as I said, the vision of a product, and then the amount of work that we are doing, and we are building on a platform that's amazing. Now we are working on a data platform, so it's not no longer a web platform. We have a data side of it, we are kind of going to go do a AIML side of it, right? So all those combined together, so there is, from anyone coming on board, there's a good segue for them. They can learn a lot of things, they can explore a lot of things. As I said before, we are using a lot of cloud things, right? So from the technology standpoint, there's a lot to learn, grow as a person in a career. Along with that, you have a good team, right? So those two three things combined together, the vision, the technology, and the team, is what I always pitch, right, to anyone joining Velocity or Endpoint.
Yeah, and you touched upon some fascinating future. So as you see, you've been working at it for 3 years. Where do you see the future of this platform, and what is the potential for that?
So potential is endless, right? Like I'll say endless. Infinity is the limit, right? Like literally, the way we have designed this. Example. Now we are doing our integration. We are it's so easy to embed or integrate all that into Velocity, right? So we are trying to explore our like neighborhood business where we can go and maybe have some other business coming into Velocity, integrating into Velocity, right? Or the data platform side of it, which I was talking, we can do a lot of anomaly detection. We can do some sort of a predictive thing, right? Like trend analysis, right? So there is a lot of growth that we can see as a platform with Velocity and the way it's kind of designed and built.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you seem to say it's the most exciting place to work. It's very
Yeah.
interesting work you have, and the team members are fun and exciting. Um, Tell me, if you were a spokesperson to get somebody into Endpoint right now, what would you tell them? Why should they join Endpoint? What is going on, and why this is a good place to be?
So it's an amazing place to be. And when I joined, my manager pitched me this that it's a very process oriented company, right? Like though we do a lot of cool things, we'll do a lot of new things, but we always stick to process, right? And process help, be it in a life, be it in a company, be it at a work, right? So process definitely help. So if anyone who want to join Endpoint, I'll say first of all, it's a good company, the people are good, team is good, the leadership is excellent, right? And then along with that, you have from the technology standpoint, it's as I said before also, we are always learning and evolving. We are not kind of stagnant saying that okay, you have to do this, you have to do that, right? As a company, we are evolving, we are learning from our mistakes. We are kind of saying that okay, we have done this, now let's go try something else, go to the next step, right? So those few factor, Shri, I believe is what I'm gonna pitch to anyone who want to join and should join Endpoint. Along with that, the work we do, right? Like some time back we got a mail from HR that okay, one of the clinical trial that we launch helped a lot of people. So there's a human side to it, there's a emotional side to it as well, right? So combine everything together, it's a good place to be in to make a difference in a society, to your career, to your life.
I think you summarized well, right? We're in a greater mission to serve
Yep.
humanity better with patients.
Yep.
We're doing it with really, as you said, not bleeding edge technology, but cutting edge. I like that word. So that we're a very process-oriented
Yep.
company, but also you're seeing that the teams and others are coming together,
Yep.
and it's a fun place to
Fun
be
place to be
because
in. Yeah.
you're getting to learn a lot
Uh-huh.
and do a lot. As you look forward, Praveen, what keeps you awake at night? You know?
I'm I sleep like a baby. Yeah. No, there's always it's just that the technology is evolving, right, Sri? Like, so it excites me, right? And that's what sometimes get me up at a night. Oh, what if this? Let's read some article. So it's not that there's something which is kind of impacting me, but again, it's so exciting, right? And
Correct.
excitement is what keep me at a night. Let me read this. Let me read that. Let me learn. Let me do something better, right? Okay, we have done it like this. Now let's do it like that, right? So those sort of thing what excites me and that keeps me up at a night rather than something worrying me. Worry wise, I think I've never had a worry. I've lost a bit of hair, but again that's for a different reason. But there's no worry work wise. Endpoint has been such a pleasure place to work with, and literally 4 years just went like this. I still remember 4 years literally like this.
Now we're benchmarking our success on velocity with the years your kid is growing up. So that was a very heartening story. And Praveen, it's so exciting to see that energy come from the team. You know, we, as you said, we were an operations company,
Mhm.
and now we're a tech
Tech
company.
company.
And you're bringing in all the vibes of a tech company of cool technology to work with. But again, I like the way you said we're applying that to a greater purpose,
Hmm.
right? Helping
Yep.
patients, helping
Patience and
this. We're not doing
yep.
cool technology for cool
Yeah,
technology's sake,
exactly.
but very mission and purpose driven, and also as you said, having fun through that journey
Yep.
and going on. um, as you leave behind this session, any advice for your fellow endpoint colleagues, in terms of some key takeaways on what is coming up, or what they should be taking away from this conversation?
Definitely. I'll say like it has been the leadership in the endpoint is so supportive, right? Like so people should definitely, if they have any concern, they should reach out to the leadership, right? The manager. And again, there's so many skip level meeting I've had in endpoints, right, which I haven't had in my previous company. So that also give us a good opportunity. So takeaway will be like, again, if you have any concern, reach out to the leadership. And secondly, look out for a technology coming up, right? And we're gonna learn, we're gonna make something good, right, from the endpoint perspective. It's not only just the velocity is just the stepping, like it's just a step up, right? But we're gonna go keep climbing up and climbing up from the technology standpoint. That's what I believe, that's what I feel we should look out for. Yeah, and technology is everything, right? In this day and age of AI, you blink of an eye and a thing change, right? Literally. Yeah,
No,
so
no, you said it so well. I think we're in a very fun place. We're mission driven. I said you said that many times. It's good collaboration, but I love how you ended that. It's very transparent. They can reach out to anybody in the organization because we're all purpose driven together. We're not trying
exactly,
to
yeah.
do things. And so this is fun and exciting, Praveen. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I learned a lot about you, but more so the journey, and really exciting times to come ahead of us. So thank you.
Sure,
Thank you for
thank you,
all your
thanks
hard
a lot,
work,
Shri.
and
Thanks a
looking
lot
forward
for,
to more collaboration.
thank you, thanks a lot, Shri, once again.